Listen, everything all set for the meeting tonight?
Yes, Senator.
Who is this girl you're going with?
Yes.
Well, but...
Yeah, drilling the hole in the high pressure section there. Okay, the water can come in from the high pressure gallery in. And I need a special fixture to drill this thing down at an angle. Probably still need this one. Okay, so once you get the pump in, you screw it in. You have the drill fixture in there that locates on one side. It's got a flat on it. Okay, you'll probably have it set up so that it's clamped down in one position all the time. All you got to do is put on the pumps. You know that you're going to have to go slow on this one.
Okay.
Because you have to relieve all the plastic out of this. If you go in too fast, what you'll end up doing is you're going to end up melting the plastic rather than drilling it. And this machine is going slow. You can actually set it faster. Feel it when it goes through. You can see the hole through the bottom. And after that's done, really, you got to check to make sure that there's no burrs in there. Yeah, like there's a little burr in there right now. Maybe a knife will just pick that one. And then you have to blow everything out with an arrow to make sure we don't get, you don't want to get any flash or anything in there. It might get caught up in the valves on the inside later on. At a higher speed, you probably end up with nothing in there, which is most of the times that I've been doing. I get no flash in there. Yeah, you know, just take and blow it out. Now we're ready for the welding operation. Fixturing. That's the production fixturing right there. Okay, it just takes a long. He's got it laid out so that, you know, you can do one part and take it off. And all this is just going to show you what gets.
Yeah, I got it.
Now we're going to weld on the low pressure manifold cover right now. And again, it doesn't make any difference which sequence that you do these in, these 4 welding operations that I'm going to show you. Notice there's going to be some flash around the outside now. It doesn't take much, but you got to get as much of that flash off as you can, strictly for appearance. There is a little bit of flash on the inside, but it's not going to be enough to hurt the pump operation. Okay, he just gets welded down flush.
Okay.
Don't have to worry about flash on this guy. It's not going to sit down all the way down to the bottom. We don't want it to. Because if it does go all the way to the bottom, chances are it may stand there and cook. So she's standing off maybe about 5, maybe 10 thousandths of an inch. But this guy doesn't see any pressure. He only sees the hose pressure coming out of your faucet. So don't worry about it. As long as we got a hermetic seal, that's all we care about. Back to the before.
Okay.
All right, John. What we're going to do now, we're going to put on the low pressure manifold plug.
Right.
Okay, that's just going to lay right down on top of that, and you just get some all the way down. is going to sit all the way down. I haven't had any problems with him as far as flash or anything else on it. He's all set. Now we're going to go to the 1,000 watt machine. I don't think that they're going to have to do this in production, putting gasoline on it. Let's take the high pressure plug and you put a number 10 O-ring on it. These drops in the hole. And they're gonna need a press or some kind of a tool to get this guy down to the right height. Take a valve retainer, stick it right up on top. Well, they're right in place. On this particular well, you're going to end up with a lot of flash on it. It has to be cleaned off a little bit. Again, strictly for appearance sake. It's got nothing to do with the function of the part. At this stage, with the 4 pieces welded on, that's when I'm going to do the first test. That's the first piece, ready to be inspected or tested. Okay. At that stage, what they'll do is they'll test both sides, high pressure and the low pressure gallery. Make sure that these plugs are all right. Before, I've been testing them at about 400 pounds on the low pressure side, about 2,100 pounds on this side, on the high pressure side. Okay, after you test it and everything's complete, now we're going to go back. Now we're going to weld in the valves. And again, the way the fixture is set up for conduction. After the O-rings are put on, and the valve springs are going to have to go on. Now, it could be done either here, at this stage, or put the valves in and then drop the springs on top of them. I just find it more convenient this way. I got your valves. The first thing we do is drop the valves right in. Just like that. At this point, when they put the valves in there, they have to make sure that the valve stems are sticking straight up, so that when they drop these in, they drop right into the center. And just press them in by finger at that point, just to get the O-ring started inside the hole. Once that's done, I'll need another press to press these guys down to a predetermined length so that you get to the valve retainers on top. That's to take up the room for the valve retainers, right, that depth. So that when these guys are welded in, everything's flush with the top.
It's probably going to have quite a bit up there.
Well,
Yeah, they want to jump off there, but as soon as that is, losing contact, I know it's a static. Maybe it's a static, what?
You need a flathead screwdriver.
yeah. Son of a bitch. Don't get that on. I don't understand it. The other battery pack is bigger.
About a half hour on mine now.
Yeah.
Is that right? Let's get this guy down.
So what are you doing on this now, John?
Same thing as we did the first time.
Okay.
We're welding in the other side of the pump with the valves.
Okay.
Okay, put our valve retainer up on top and she's just ready to weld. Now that the valves are welded in place, now it's time to retest it again. Again, see we got flash all over the place. What they might be able to do is probably come in with a step drill, or with a smaller diameter and with a larger diameter, and just come in and just clean it real quick on the machine. I showed this to Les when he was on there last time. The flash on the inside of the small holder is a good indication that it welded. Because occasionally, if you get a small part in there, what will happen is this machine, instead of welding it, it'll press fit it in. And you won't get any flash on the inside, so that's a good indication that it's not done. Finished part. At that point, that's going to from Canton up to Felcher. L&G or Felcher? You'll be doing the rest of it.
This is okay, all right.
What he's going to be doing right now is also going to be done at Canton.
They want you to write anything down?
He's going to do some more welding now on a different part of the pump.
We won't have any ultrasonics up there.
No, all the ultrasonics can be in Canton.
Okay, sub-assembly, the pump outlet fitting. What we're going to do is install the sleeves, the shuttle sleeves. Start off with the rear sleeve, the tool that we slide that over. This is going to be a press fit. Okay, like that. So it bottoms out.
Why? Jump out at me?
You should be able to see that it sits evenly down there. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is weld on the sleeve retainer. Put that on there. Horn has to be a certain distance for this. Put the fitting on there. Make sure that's the retainer sits evenly. Okay, at this point you can see there's a lot of flash. We must get all of that out.
Huh? They're talking around June.
On the outside, you also want to get rid of that flash.
That flash gets on the inside of the tank and the valves in there and tighten it.
That's flash.
No, what you're saying is you're right. That would be a reflex. That flash is only in there because the motors are trying to separate.
Even a straight piece of anything fine, you'll see later, once you insert the shuttle, if it gets between the seal and the sleeve, it'll create some problems. Okay, at this point, you may want to blow it out with air, because what we're going to be doing is inserting the front sleeve, and you want to make sure there's nothing that's going to seat between the one side. So let me blow this out.
The low pressure side is synthetic seal.
This guy's already in. The front sleeve, and with both of these sleeves, there's no orientation. Okay. Again, a press fit. Bottoms out. Okay, and visually you could pretty much see whether it is seated or not. We may want to come up with a dimension to check every once in a while. Okay. So at this point, this is done here. We need to add some things later on. Okay, we're going to assemble a connecting rod. We have to change something, change a booster here, so it'll be a couple minutes. Okay, now the sub-assembly, the connecting rod. So what we're going to do is put a 6.6 by 2.4 millimeter, I believe it is, O-ring over the top. Then you want to use some grease and Vaseline to lubricate that O-ring. You want to make sure you don't get any of the lubricant near the top where it's welding. Okay. Then with your ceramic piston, it has a taper. So you want to make sure, and I just use another rod. But the easier fit, you know, check it out with another rod.
will be coated.
It will be?
Yeah, they'll be coated so they know which way it's up.
Okay, so there will be some orientation. Okay. Okay, push on the piston. So it bottoms out. At this point you're ready to weld the retainer. Here's our retainer, which is there is some orientation to it.
Got it set?
Yeah.
Set?
Okay. Here you'll get flash on the inside. You may want to remove that now. It has to be removed at some point. That's it for the connecting rods.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. This will be the chassis assembly. We'll start off with inserting the bottom armature bearing. There's a fixture here. There's cradles, the two gears on the bottom. Take your armature bearing with no glue. And you can check on the bottom to make sure that it is seated.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to stake over perimeter with the staking tool out on another press. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to be staking in this armature bearing. Staking tool, try to get it as straight as possible. Okay, that's good.
Ready?
Yeah, that's fine.
All set?
Okay.
Cool. Got it.
Okay, now what we do is it's more of a touch than anything else.
Okay. Yeah, it does. And you feel almost bouncing, can't you?
Yeah, bear down
Okay.
on them a little bit. And you're from the press.
Okay.
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 Yep.
Okay, now we're going to go through the connecting rod assembly. Start off by inserting the bottom main chassis bearing. What we have here is a couple of tools that help us insert it straight. What I'll do is I'll just lay the bearing on top. We have a piece here that'll just is machined so it'll press on the outer race of the bearing. That'll go on top. This acts as our guide in line with the top bore. We have a tool here that will line down through the bearing and into the fixture. once that's all lined up,
Put the spacers in there.
no spacers. We're not using spacers. Okay. Good. Down until it stops. What you want to check for is on the bottom, make sure that it's seated on both sides. If you find any large gap, especially any more than 5 to 10 thousandths, you've got a problem. Down through. Drop it in there. Should drop in freely. Take one of our connecting rods, insert an eccentric. Pass that through on the side. Okay. And I need my guide pin. At this point, we have to have some kind of a guide pin passed down through. Okay. And then what you want to do is turn this eccentric so it interlocks. And if you're not sure, you can always take it back out. But it's very important from this point on that the flanges interlock with the tongue and groove, okay? And at this point I'll put a piece on. You want to line up the top of the press with that guide pin. Okay. Take the top chassis bearing. Take the top concentric, drop that down. Turn it until it drops down and interlocks. You'll feel it in here. Take your top connecting rod, insert top eccentric. And again, with that guide pin, turn that eccentric around so it drops in. Okay. At this point, we'll take the fixture or the chassis off the fixture. Bottom eccentric is going to be different than the top two. It will not have the flanges on the bottom. Push that rod up, turn this until it locks in. And again, you could always check, pull the pin down, make sure those flanges are in there. At this point I'll take the shaft, the nut threaded all the way to the bottom, washer on, and with that shaft, that guide pin halfway through, so if this is still interlocked, guide that down. Keeping pressure, because if it does, one of those combinations slip apart, we'll have problems later. That's nice and tight. Okay. Point to put on the top washer. top nut. Now what you want to do is check the alignment, which you can do with at these points, centric and concentric. And here you could actually see the tongue and groove fit. The bottom you cannot see, but overall what you want to do is you want to look for this step as a quick visual check. Make sure that one piston goes from low to high, one end to the other. Okay. Then we'll tighten this down here at the right. And tighten the rod assembly to 38 foot-pounds. Long end. Okay. So again, you want to check so there's no friction. Rotates freely. Check your alignment. We're going to put our driven pulley on the bottom of the rod assembly. There's a location for the nut where it just simply slides down right over top. Flat washer. Nut. You want to tighten this to 12 foot-pounds. Okay. And again, it should be freewheeling. That's it for the chassis. John? Again, this is going to be like set field, right? Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Alright, we have here the motor assembly. Make sure the lead with the termination is coming out. Alright. Like that. Make sure your field is seated down. Armature with the bearing already inserted. Finger spring.
A little bit towards the end, it's actually like one side of it, the other side right. It was just like a little bead I could shoot every once in a while. They don't have any. Yeah, it wasn't like it was very well. Hopefully that was good looking.
Install your field screws. Get them started by hand. brush covers.
Those are Phillips head.
Right. The field
You have a
screws.
separate air driver for that?
I would do that normally.
As long as they...
And the field screws use a torque. They're Torx 20s.
Okay.
I believe that's the same what they're using now. Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Okay. Fan on. Put the motor cap on now. What you want to do next? Pulley spacer. Put the dry pulley on. Hand tighten that. That's it for the chassis assembly.
Yeah, why don't you
now
turn your recorder on? And we'll say that from now on,
after the motor chassis sub-assembly is finished, it'll go across the street to L&G and they will finish the assembly then.
It's recorded.
thank you. Okay.
Okay, it's on.
Okay, what we're going to start off with is a Venturi assembly. One thing you want to watch for in the mold, you want to make sure it's free of burrs on this end. You'll see later that there's a keeper that will slide, and if it encounters a burr, you're going to have some problems with installation. All we do here is we just install a 2-014 70 durometer O-ring, and that's done. Okay, this is the injector fitting. What we'll do is install a 2-006 O-ring, and I believe it is 70 durometer. This is your injector valve. And we'll just push that down with the valve, and that should seat. Okay. If you have any burrs or what have you on the angled surface, it's just going to cut into that O-ring. You're going to have problems later. On the outside we have a 2-011 70 durometer O-ring, and that's it for the injector fitting. Next we're going to assemble the shuttle. Installing there's two sleeves. Not sleeve seals. Start off, there's a wide and a narrow UHMW seal. We have a couple tools here. And we install the wide seal first. And what I use is a couple washers to make sure it goes down evenly. Okay. Another piece here for the narrow seal. Slide that over. At this point, you want to compress those seals. Okay, and you want to be careful. Okay. Pull it out. Check to make sure that the seal hasn't been damaged in any way whatsoever. No marks, no burrs, and you can keep that in there. It should stay in for about a minute just to make sure that the seals go back to the normal size. Another thing, it's very important, you want to make sure that the 70 thousandths front hole is free of any burrs, any flash, any mold flash.
Okay.
Okay, it's going to vary from 70 to 73 thousandths, I believe. Okay. We have a .026 thousandths diameter spring you can install now. And you can just leave that, I'm going to just leave that in there, in the compressor for now. Now, I'm going to install the pump. There are seal supports and there is an orientation to them. Install them.
What do you mean? The flat side's down? Okay.
Flat side down.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Piston seals, and we use a special tool for that.
Okay. Any orientation there?
No, no orientation.
Okay. Okay.
And what you want to do is rotate this so that the end pistons are fairly
They're up and the middle's down.
right.
Okay.
And make sure your seals are down
With them up.
all the way.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then we have 2-117 90 durometer O-rings.
That's number 44 grease.
Which will,
Dow Carney number 44 grease, huh?
we may change that.
All right.
Okay, the grease doesn't have to be real heavy.
How many horsepower is this thing?
What I'm using is
Guide pins.
just the guide pins. And they're not going to fit. What we're going to do first is you can't press the pump over top of the O-rings by hand.
Okay.
You're going to have, I believe, some kind of a fixturing
Yeah.
device that comes down.
Yeah.
For my
Okay.
purposes, I'll just
Pull it down with that.
pull it down with the
Okay.
screws.
Mm-hmm. Now it's seated.
Yeah. It's important that it seats evenly, so those O-rings don't
So
get
you want the
pinched.
guide pins plus this, huh?
No,
We're
they're
going to be making,
What I have to build yet.
The fixturing you have to
Yeah.
develop.
Right. Okay.
yeah,
All right. So the guide pins will be built into the fixture then, right?
building a fixture so that we'll have
Right.
a couple,
Yeah.
Put
the guide pins coming
we'll
in,
put the
so-
pins up in the top, and I'll just push it down on it
right,
straight.
push it down.
The whole
right.
fixture from the bottom straight. Okay.
think Ralph was working on that.
Okay.
Okay. What we'll do next is install the flat washers. And again, this will be normally set over top guide pins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have short spacers which will go on the bottom 4 locations. And we have a plate like that. And we have 1.5 bolts
They'll put lock washers on those bolts.
with lock washers.
Any
What I-
sequence to it?
There will be. Right now I'm just
Okay.
going to,
It's like drawing the head down on a car, right?
yeah. What you want to do is start in the middle. Okay.
Do those two and go outside.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tighten them all
Okay.
the way. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, now we're ready for pump outlet fitting. What I'll do now that this has been compressed, this could be all done in one sequence. Probably should have done that. Is install the shuttle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure it moves up through.
And push it up so that that back seal is in the rear sleeve. Okay.
Okay.
Take our Venturi, O-ring towards the front. Spring will seat right in there.
All right.
And if you'll notice here, you want to push that Venturi so that that back flange clears the space for the keeper. Okay, there you can see space is clear. And this is the keeper, which will hold that Venturi in place. Install that. Like that. Take our injector fitting, and grease the O-ring, and with the nut driver, first we'll install it.
We'll get some of those out of the back. Should be in there.
She's gone in and twisted it.
I want to hold up on that cut. I got a problem here. Install injector fitting and turn clockwise so it locks. Now we're going to put 2 O-rings on here. 2-018 70 durometer. Fit the top section here. 90 durometer. 2-017. O-ring fits there. And we will grease the bottom O-ring only. That's the O-ring that sees the pressure. Okay. We have some outlet plates. They're both alike. What you want to do is put those on the formed parts interlock. Like that.
Good.
Okay. Install the outlet fitting so that the injector fitting is pointing to the right at 3 o'clock. Okay.
At this stage, that's only for the handheld model that it's going to be in that position.
Okay.
For the floor model, this might be rotated 90 degrees.
Over the top of that plate.
Yeah, it might be.
Might
So
be.
This
Okay.
is strictly handheld right here.
Okay.
And again, we would normally have guide pins that everything would simply slide over top, so there isn't any parts falling out, misaligned. These are our long spaces. What I'll do is install the bolts.
Where's the lock washers?
We won't use any on
Those two?
those two at
The
this
other
point.
ones, with the ones, oh, well, the other two have them. Okay.
Yeah.
Good, okay. Good.
That's because of the length. You want as
Take
much.
care of the two bolts in too.
Yeah.
Drop in so the sleeves don't mess around. Okay.
Oh, I had one take it off the other part. Open the back.
Okay.
That power plug in use, that little the DC one, right? Yeah, it's important that this outlet fitting goes down evenly. Now, there'll be a fixture that'll come and press this down, so it will already be seated. All right. Now I'm going to take the pains to make sure that it does go down evenly by hand.
You use torque wrenches here?
Yeah. What we're going to do is tighten these bolts to 8 foot-pounds. If we're using quarter 20s, we're going to go with the 8 foot-pounds. If we're using quarter 28s, we'll go with the 6 foot-pounds.
Okay.
Okay, so I have it set up for the 8. What I'll do is I start the sequence. Start with the bottom plate. Now for the outlet fitting, you want to tighten the two corners
Okay. For the two pieces in the
where
lock.
they interlock, right?
Okay. And then the out ones you don't. Okay. All right. All right. Good.
Okay.
That's it.
And the only thing we have left is two things. We have our mounting sleeves we want to install.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Turn it around as you do that. Okay. Put one on there and then swing it around so you can see it. He's already put that one on. There's the last one. Okay, good.
And the last thing we want to do,
Put the belt on.
install the belt.
Now
Okay.
the mounting sleeves and the belt will not be installed until you're ready to put it into the unit. Okay, because I believe there has to be another test at this point
All right.
Yeah, there's a test before you put the belt on.
before
Okay.
you put the belt on.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
They're going to be running in the motor. Correct?
Yes.
So that is the pump assembly complete.
We're gonna run the motor in. How long?
I believe 10 minutes.
Already went to running time on it.
So I gotta take them and put them in the running room then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think for 10 minutes. So that's it.
And your nozzle tip. Now the multi-orifice cylinder's got a piece coming up the side, and there's a notch on the nozzle tip. And they will line up when you put it in the fixture. Set it in the fixture. Only one way you can go. Close it up. You put your nozzle tip on there. Make your notches will line up. Then you're ready to run. It's one of the things that he's got to fix. Don't be gorgeous. That's one of the things he's got to work on. It welded right to the bottom. Okay? Okay. The assembly of the housing itself. First of all, you got to get the switch, and you take the motor lead. It's got the fitting on there. Just push it right onto the switch. Okay. And you got the black lead from the wire, right? And you put that on also. Now it doesn't make any difference which tool you use at this point. As long as the middle one is used, either end could be used. Okay?
We'll identify it on the outside of the housing, right?
It'll be identified once you put it in the case.
Okay.
Okay, she's on. Okay. Here's where it becomes important that you know the orientation. All right, you put your switch covers on. This is the same way they do it on the MacVac. On the right side of the cover, you'll notice up here that there's a tiny hole. That's for a number 2 screw to fit in there. You need a magnetic screwdriver for this. Alright, get your screw on there. You have to screw that into the hole. This ties it'll go. After that's done, we have to take and put the motor on the inside. Got a switch cover. Now here's where the orientation comes in. 2 wires have to be forward, and this guy goes on. Okay. And what happens is you got a spring, fits on that nib like that. And this guy gets put on. And that's your momentary action. Okay. Now we're ready to put this unit into the housing. Set this guy in. Right, and these wires are going to run in the back of that boss. Okay.
You may want to put that grounding spool and wire screw in, John.
You may want to put the grounding screw on first.
The grounding screw.
Those guys are great at going.
The grounding screw.
WILQ 7412, and if your rooster likes to crow a lot, we'll be Happy Acres tomorrow to celebrate Valentine's Day weekend. Their fun. Go up and say hi to Rooster and make plans for dinner because they have kind of
when you put the grounding screw on,
yeah, you want to swing it
make
up,
sure
right?
the wire is up right.
So it doesn't get pitched in the house.
Right.
Okay, good.
Now, what we want to do is when we put the wires in, we want to make sure that there's enough lead left here so that it gets tucked underneath here. And at the same time, these 2 guys, this ground is going to fit into the buses on the bottom.
Now's the perfect time to start making gifts for that upcoming wedding.
Okay, she's in there now.
You can even begin a dimension stitchery project now or to decorate your home with a spring. Funkrafts also has frames in many different sizes that are so easy to assemble, it only takes a few minutes. Plus, they have custom cut mats to fit any frame. So stop by and discover all the fun things you can make for Valentine's Day and beyond at Funkrafts, your Dimension Stitchery headquarters in the Lycoming Mall, Muncie.
Okay, wires are down.
Starting next week, you can buy books for
At
just
this
$1
point,
each. And
the wire retainer. That guy fits down into that boss.
Yeah, put that on there.
Yeah, you probably a suction cup or something. You just push it home. Yeah, not that easy.
Go grab those needleless pliers.
Yeah, and there are needle-nose pliers going on.
Nope. You'd look better with a real rib tie. The kind that he had on the other day, that's what you should have.
I got it on there.
Just
Yeah, it's down in there now.
I don't have no needle nose.
That's all over with. Come on back. I got it in already. Let's go. Here. Hey, I got it on. Let's go to the next one, okay?
Okay, she's home. All right, next thing we're going to do is with the black and the white wire, and wiring up these guys together. Okay?
Good. Yep.
All right, this wire gets tucked underneath and goes down inside that trough down in there. Okay? And this gets tucked down in there as well. All right? Now, with the flat side of the cord, that goes right in here like that. And just make sure the wires are out of the way with that boss. Okay, and everything's tucked down. Okay? Now, trigger release. Put a spring on this guy, just like we did before on the other one. Okay, now he gets shoved in here like that. He's on that boss, and then we have to squeeze this guy in. He gets caught right in between.
Okay. Yep.
So now you got an action like this,
Okay.
and you can also push this guy back and forth.
All right.
That?
Okay. Yep.
Now we're all set to put the other half of the cover on.
Inflation is being held in check. Wholesale prices are down. Second month back to back. Producer prices are down 1/3 of 1%.
All right, the cover just fits right down. Traps the wire.
Okay. Good.
Fits right on.
Gasoline
Good.
down more than any time since things got better in the Persian Gulf last spring.
Now we screw her down.
Natural gas and electricity also were cheaper at wholesale in January.
Probably this one first.
By about 4 dozen forecasters,
Got the wire.
inflation rate to just over 3% this year. Forecasters think inflation will stay tame this year, mainly because the economy is likely to recover so slowly that demand for many goods and services will stay weak for a while. The Federal Reserve is reporting production in the country's factories, mines, and utilities.
They all get the same, all screws are the
All
same,
screws are the same.
all the way around. Huh? What do you have to do for it? What do you have to do for a dielectric test?
Business inventories up 0.4% in December.
What do they have to do for a dielectric test?
Sales fell by the widest margin in 1 year. More than this.
President's Day, Sears says, save the presidents. You know, the ones in your wall. Nike's Mechanics Tool says just $79.99. A special purchase while quantities last. And save
Well, we normally go out to where they do all the screws.
megabyte hard drive purchase $99.88. Hurry, save it next Monday. Prices may vary. Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I got that
In today's real estate market, everybody's got questions. What's more important? A real estate
I even
agent
make
or a company? In today's market, one company has answers.
Hi, it's Chris from Coldwell Banker. Have you considered picking the best agent and the best company?
When you choose a Coldwell Banker agent, you get local knowledge plus the resources of a company with over 85 years of experience.
That's where you're making this much.
Coldwell Banker, some offices in town.
They need machine those, so I'll see a lot.
Democrats in the House, writing an economic recovery plan, have said that even agreement on the plan tilted in favor of the middle class, with the wealthy taking up most of the slack. The White House already is taking aim at the plan as a forerunner for tax increases for all of us. Speculation at the United Nations report on the environment. It suggests that increased ultraviolet radiation and ozone depletion will speed up progression to AIDS in people who already have tested HIV positive. What's the International Committee on the Red Cross
We're ready to
estimates indicate
roll.
more than 30,000 people killed or wounded in the Somali capital of Mogadishu since factual fighting started
Okay.
last November.
Yep.
The Red Cross is predicting tragedy if a large-scale
At this
humanitarian assistance program is not started now. Medicine to the country. ABC Lisa Rowland reports.
pull that up.
Million people in
Now
Somalia
comes
are
the
desperately
assembly of the
without.
nozzle.
It says the situation of the
Part
civilian
that we welded up
population is
before.
critical. The Pakistan says the Somalians can't wait for a political solution to resolve the conflict. Aid agencies must step in now with urgently needed assistance.
They have to
if
take
they
the
wish to
adapter.
save the Somali people. The Pakistan says people are
Sticks an
already
O-ring
dying from hunger, and
the
more
inside.
many more will die if the world does nothing to help.
that.
Lisa Rowland, ABC News.
Now we have a sleeve
Struck
or
each
a
florist in Hollywood. Employees say some parts
a
may
seal.
have not broken. That's
It goes right down over the O-ring.
It's gonna
Gets
take
pushed down inside the hole.
probably till the rest of the day. Today we just get caught up. They just went for everything that was in the truck. They took the roses that were just distilled in bundles and also all of our special arrangements we make for the fire services.
Thousands of dollars worth of merchandise
Take an
missing.
O-ring.
Workers are trying to find enough merchandise to fill the
Right on
stock
top of there.
Some unique Valentine's being sent to Japan. Thousands of people are sending compact discs containing messages. At a cost of $8, the Valentine's CD card bills itself as a love potion. 4 romantic songs plus a sensuous voice saying, please love me.
Do that?
5,000 times at high frequencies, mainly inaudible to the human ear. Guarantees not included.
Okay.
Bonnie Blair shared
Once you got the O-ring on top of here.
the Albertville Winter Olympics in France, winning the women's 1,000 meter speed skating event. Wall Street, Dow Jones Industrial is down 3.5 points.
This guy fits right over it.
Right now, your Excel for hardware folks are having
You screw it down?
Nope.
No. This is the press one.
Now inside here, see that notch?
Yeah.
That notch, and on the inside there, there's a key.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, these can fit together. Bottom right off. Have to have bottoms out.
For the ABC Information Network.
Put a snap ring in its place and to hold it in place. That's what holds everything
Good
together.
afternoon, I'm Jim Finkler, WILQ News.
There's a flat
State
side on
lawmakers
that
have
too, right?
given up on their talks
Flat
on
side
congressional
down.
reapportionment this week. Both the State House and Senate are now in recess, and they're leaving the task to Commonwealth Court.
It doesn't make any difference
There's a
which way it
flat
goes
zero
in.
left
Yeah,
side on it?
there is, but it doesn't make any difference which way it goes
Population
in.
change in Pennsylvania must lose 2 of its 23 congressional districts. Commonwealth Court started hearings yesterday. President Judge
right
David Craig heard
inside.
testimony on plans backed by the Senate and House Democrats. Today, supporters of plans by the state's congressional delegation and Senate Republicans are on the agenda. Lawmakers appointed a House Senate Conference Committee to work out a reapportionment plan.
All right,
The talks
now we
broke
got
down
the
Wednesday night.
nozzle
Republicans
position.
blame Democrats for it. Democrats
Indicator. Now that guy's got a notch in it that fits in here.
WILQ News Time,
That gives
12:06.
you your automatic position. It'll tell you what position you're in.
5 miles to return.
Okay?
But the real reason to walk back
Alright,
is
then
to
this
the
guy,
the general store's Lazy Boy chairs.
along with
Lazy
this
Boy President's
O-ring,
Day sale now through Monday at
is
Reliable
going to be put in
Furniture.
a bag
You can pick up a Lazy
for
Boy recliner
customer
rocker,
assembly.
a space-saving recliner way, or the new Lazy Rest recliner by Lazy Boy for as little as $299.
So that's a sub-assembled bag.
it's a sub-assembled bag, right.
Reliable Fine Furnishing.
Now your inlet
Downtown
for the hose has got to be assembled.
The inmate population in the Lycoming County prison
Start
system has hit another
this,
all-time high.
and you got the, you got a
256
screen.
inmates at the prison in
water
Williamsport and the pre-release center in Loyalside Township. Warden Dave Desmond says the reason for the high number of
Press
inmates
fits
is
right
the
on the
recent number of
inside.
court sentencings. Desmond says even though the
That just
inmate
makes it
population
sediment.
is high,
Yeah,
there have
that's
been
all
few
that does.
problems with finding space
not
for
on.
everyone, especially since the prison has now converted 52
There's a snap
one-person
ring that
cells
fits in
into
place.
two-person cells.
Adding these additional beds has certainly made it
Come out.
somewhat easier. It could have
And on the inside,
a
rubber washer.
A little bit more difficult on the correctional staff
on the
because there are more
inside.
inmates to watch, there are more things to get
Right.
done.
That's
Desmond
exactly
says
what
he'll
it
look
is.
at scheduling to spread activities
that
more
folded
evenly
over.
throughout the day to reduce the crowding. Desmond knows there have been no major problems with inmates at the county prison concerning the double celling. The Tioga County Commissioners have adopted a revised budget for 1992. Commissioner William Hall says the
Somebody stole an
$13.6
O-ring on me.
million budget
Hang on
passed this
for a
morning on a 2-to-1 vote.
Ring. Put that on the end of the water inlet fitting.
Budget replaces one passed by the Operating Council in December.
And that whole assembly
$38,000
is inside of the housing.
Plan city property taxes will remain
And there's
the
a
same
slot
as
in there.
1991. The capital decrease approved in December was removed. Budget
You It's lined up, the slot in the bottom of the housing. And you put this U-clip in there to hold it in place.
Finally, the State Department of Corrections says a letter of intent will suffice.
And we have a hose adapter
involved in the
that we
expansion
putting on.
of 4 or 5 sanitary supplies in Montgomery County's Clinton Township.
It's not.
Or today from Montgomery Borough Manager
change
Brent
it.
Logan, the department had
It'll
given
be in the bag with this here. It'll be in the hardware package or something.
Put in the hardware package.
Okay.
the project.
Along with the nozzle assembly.
The department is scheduled today and hopefully solidifies the commitment of the 5 parties involved.
You got a housing nut.
County commissioners.
It's also going to be put in the bag
Montgomery Water
for
Authority.
the customer to assemble.
Clinton Township and Montgomery.
And then we have a joint. John, what happens on these guys, we're going to have to put this ring on it, snap this on. Once that's snapped on, put this guy over the end of it. Then it has to spin roll out. Alright, to make it spin roll before. Alright, once that's done, we'll end up with an assembly of this like this.
Right now,
What you have to do is make
Jim Finkler, television
a roll ring that sits on the end of this. Okay. And that assembly will be put in the box along with the rest of the stuff. We have a tank going to come into the assembly. It's off to the end of the... You're going to be doing that. That's the reservoir for the chemical. Cap on there.
Find out how you can get a Carroll Oil Power water on their lease plan with no money down. Call Monster Auto Service Company today.
Put that in, right.
Your Sunoco distributor.
Right, it's a hunter tubing that'll be going from the bottom here. You could either put it in here or here, but I think it'll be in here.
16 Winter Olympic Games. She is bonded.
And the customer will end up putting down here later. It's going to stay natural now. It's going to stay natural right now.
Today she took the gold
See the
in the 1,000
problem we have
meters
stress on that?
time of 1 minute, 21.9
Now,
seconds.
You got a strap bracket, and this is what they want to do, they want to put on here. Now, I don't know which is easier, to put this on first or to put this on there first. But anyway, this has got to be woven on.
Bronze in the 1,000 meters. She's already captured half of the 4 American medals. Fog at the outdoor Olympic airport started race for an hour, but then Bonnie Will did it. She wins the gold in the women's 1,000 meters at the Olympics. Here in the Susquehanna Valley, boys high school basketball tonight. Boy, this is a crowded slate. I'll tell you, this is one of the busiest Fridays of the season. It's also one of the last Fridays.
This is going to have to be taught. You're never going to see this on film.
Third-ranked Shikellamy will host arch rival Selinsgrove. It's number 5 North Penn at Gailton. Royal Sock visiting their arch rival, number 6 Toursville. Sayre is at number, make that.
My son knows how to do that.
Sayre is at number 7 Troy. Wanda. 10th-ranked Shamokin will be at Tamaqua. In girls high school basketball tonight, 2 top 10 teams in action.
That's all, just a
Yeah.
While 8th-ranked Montgomery plays host to Bloomsburg. And don't forget men's college basketball tomorrow night. Bucknell will take on Fordham. First place Bucknell. Fordham was upset the other night by Lafayette. So right now, Bison are all.
And this guy has to be put on the back, a snap
standings. We'll have more coming your way later. I'm Bill Keane. WILK Sports.
She's on. There's your strap assembly. I don't know how you're going to fold this up probably and have to put elastic band or something on it and it'll hold it in place.
Oh, okay, I see.
So these will be put in the bag. And you got this. That gives you your whole unit.
I tell them how to install the nozzle. No, the one.
What the customer does.
Just kind of interesting.
Tank has to be
Holes in it.
well, you could just pretend.
Okay. What happens? The customer takes this,
Does the tank have to be off, John?
Yeah. Otherwise you block up the hole. You can't screw that hole. You insert this as far as it'll go. There's 2 holes in the bottom. You take the clip and you stick it into 2 holes in the bottom, and that captures this guy. This got to go on first.
Okay.
Rewind.
So I see how that goes.
Now after they get that on, what they're going to have to do is put the nozzle on. Put that on. And that indicator nut on there, they can use a wrench on that to tighten that up a little bit. Now you'll notice that the pointer can fall in any spot. So what they do is just rotate so that the pointer is up. Alright, and once that happens, then what they do is they screw this guy down. Now remember the screw that we put in the end there?
Yeah,
that cold flows into this, digs into it.
It's a digger in it.
Right.
Okay.
And all they do is just tighten this guy up. Okay? Now she's ready to go. I have to put this thing in. Oh, what that is, when I put the tank on, the hose goes down to the bottom for the chemical and then here.
That's the injection port.
Right. And then you take this.
There's going to be a D-pin on the inside.
That's
being changed in the mold too to hold that tank on there.
All you do is take and wrap this guy around, and that holds it in place.
Great. Turn it around.
Put it on, John.
Turn around sideways. Model it for us. Yep. It shows the hose. There's no reservoir. The other one has soap in there. Now the bigger one have a tank. This runs right off the hose.
Yeah, but it does.
Oh, you get the whole family out. One guy to handle it, one guy to handle it.
That's it.
It'll take a little help. Okay.
I know. Hey Logan, smile, you're on camera.
Hey, Biba.
Daddy, do you see how many camera?
Do I what?
Brent, you want more? No, there's more noodles. More.
I gotta get the drapes on camera here, Vic.
You said after Mommy, I need to go get last straw. Let's turn the water on. Hey! Need my straw. Half a horn. Daddy, can you move over?
What do you say, Brent?
Cheese.
No, you say excuse me.
Excuse me.
And then now you could say cheese.
Cheese. awesome.
Can you smile for Daddy?
Cheese. 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 Walk over.
Careful, honey.
Mommy, use that.
Okay, here.
Mommy. Mommy.
One rest. Daddy's not nickname.
Daddy's done with the song.
What is
Yes.
taping?
Why is it done with the
You
song?
have to ask him, honey. I don't know if he's done.
Is it done, Daddy?
Just about, honey.
A song. A song. Is it done?
Make him laugh, Vic.
Is the song done?
I got a full picture of him.
Daddy, is the song all done?
No, wait till it's done. It's almost done. Logie, laugh. Come on. Come on. I got the whole face in there.
Throw a snowball at Logie.
John been
Throw a snowball.
Make Logan some rice pudding.
Oh,
Do you like the rice?
Mommy.
What wrap?
Mommy doesn't know downstairs.
Cleaned for the first time in 3 years. What? For the record, this is March 23rd, 1992.
Daddy, take a picture. Cheese. Cheese. Cheese.
Say cheese and crackers. Hey, Logan. Logan. Hey, Logan. Logan, look at Daddy. Logie. Logie. Up here. Up here. Logan, look. Vic, you're supposed to start running the garbage disposal. You can't hear. Any comment? He said you're supposed to stop running. You can't hear the TV. Hey Brent, what are you watching? There he is, standing up. He's now able to open any and all drawers. See? Pretty good, huh? Of course he's my son. What'd you find in there, Log? Anything good? Oh, pictures. Oh, great. Way to go, Log. Wonder who put these in here. Will you close the door, please? Will you close the door? Okay. What do you have there? Your own toolbox, huh? How toolbox will travel. Where are you going with that? Oh, you want something to slide on.
Cheese, 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 cheese.
Good shot, Brent. Good shot.
Cheese, 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 cheese. Daddy, when are you gonna put tape on? When are you gonna put tape on, Daddy?
And tape. Well, pretty soon.
Pretty soon after Mendiva.
Well, I don't know, honey. We'll see. Hey, Logan, look up. Logan, Logan, Logan. Scoot's pretty good. Logie, come here. Let me fix your hair. Yes, he's eating the stove. And when he's done with that, he'll eat the refrigerator. Go get him, Brent. Go get him.
Cheese, 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 cheese.
He wants in the pots and pans, Brent. Let him open the door, okay?
Woggy.
Looks like a turtle. Time out. Cut. He's okay.
While there's a commercial on, would you please go get me a diaper for Logan? Okay.
That's what I wanted on tape. Hey Logie, now look up. This is a great shot.
Can you show that?
Cameraman can't. He's taping, Brent. He's taping.
It's a good thing that thing doesn't have any smell. That one there is.
Hey Vicky, he's doing his book sliding again. He's just sliding on his book. Hey Vic, come here. He slid from there all the way over to here.
You walked the basket all the way down the hall.
You have to get him those real slippery books, you know, that shiny cover. We won't show the bottom. This is pretty neat.
Book out of it, love.
See, here he's getting changed upside down. Sideways shot.
You want to picture this too?
Standing on his head. Look, put the book down, guy. No, I'm not getting a picture of that. This is the X-rated material. This will not be filmed. We have higher standards than that.
You want me to open it up so you can see the other stuff?
Look at this kid. He's already reading books while he's going to the bathroom.
So he's been done, honey.
Where's your newspaper, Logue? Hey, Brent.
Daddy, put tape on, put tape on.
To watch himself on TV.
Hey, Brent, do something you do in gymnastics for the camera, okay? Can you do a flip or a roll? Can you roll?
No, I have to do this.
Logan kind of just did it.
Good boy. I got it on film. Brent did a flip. That's pretty good. Can you do it again? He did a headstand into a flip. Brent, do you have spotters that help you at Dynamats? Hmm?
Well, I like to do it myself, but almost I can. I don't want to get in the way. I can't do it anymore.
Okay.
Now I have to do something else.
What else do you do? Can you think of anything else? What'd you say? Okay. Okay, Brent, we got to go, okay?
Ouch, Logan. You guys teeth.
Yes.
Daddy, I got in the camera. Daddy, I got in the camera. Daddy,
That's
I
all,
wanted
yeah.
to watch you to say.
Well, how about after a while, okay?
No.
Brad, if you're real good at church, you can watch it when we get home.
I'm not the adult to church.
Well, you're not watching that tape then.
Hey, better be good, Brent. I gotta get this. Brent, shh, 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 shh. I'm filming, okay? And Logan's in the fridge taking everything out.
He's sitting on the bed.
He's sitting on the bread.
Yeah.
Great.
Daddy,
At least he's changed.
Are you down here, Vic?
In the fridge, yeah. I wouldn't have to move Logan.
Okay, come on, Logan. Brent, move out of the way. Come on, honey. Oh. Come on, Logan. Come on, quickly, 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 quickly before he comes back. Oh no. I dragged you away, Logan. Okay, thanks, honey. Thanks for helping me. Okay, we have to go. Daddy's gonna turn this off.
I can't do a channel change. You're
Logan left lost an arm, Vic. Oh.